This is 6.1 part 3. What we have done so far is we've talked about how to find the GCF, and we've gotten a taste of what factoring is going to look like. Now we are actually going to start factoring. Every time you have a factoring problem, you're going to be asked to factor completely. Okay, so if we're factoring completely, then you need to always be asking yourself, am I done? Now, that's going to make a whole lot more sense once we get all these other types of factoring. And I know this looks a little bit scary. It's not so bad. But I want us to get in the habit of doing that right now. So I will ask, are we done every time? Okay. So let's look at this one. Imagine the comma between them. Let's first figure out what our GCF would be. Look at the numbers first, 12 and 6. My GCF cannot be larger than 6. 6 does divide into 12, so I have the 6. I have an x in each one. My smaller variable is the 2, so my GCF is 6x squared. Now to factor this is sort of an aside. I'm going to write the 6x squared on the outside because that's where my GCF goes, just like right up here when they did part of it for us. And then I'm going to open parentheses. Remember, this is a distribution. What do I have to multiply 6x squared by to get 12x cubed? Well, I need a 2 to get the 12. Here I have x squared, I need x cubed, so I need one more x. Okay, now here's the part that a lot of people mess up because this is exactly the same as this. A lot of people close it here and say they're done. But we should always be able to reverse the multiplication. We should be able to multiply it all out and get back to here. If I just multiply these two, I get the 12x cubed, but I don't get this part back. I have to have this. So plus, what? I need to multiply this by something to get this. Well, it doesn't need to change, right? So what can I multiply this by and not change it? A 1. Now think about distributing. 6x squared times 2x would give me 12x cubed, plus 6x squared times 1 gives me 6x squared. This is your answer. Okay, you can think of this almost like a placeholder. All right, let's look at this one. 11w cubed minus 100. All right, I'm looking for the GCF, and I don't have a w in both of them, so I'm not going to have a variable in there. 11 is a prime number. The only numbers that multiply to 11 are 1 and 11. So my GCF is either going to be 1 or 11. Does 11 divide evenly into 100? 100 divided by 11, and that's a big no. Okay, so 11 is not in the GCF. My GCF is 1. Okay. So a couple of things I want to say about this. If you're following the factor tree, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to factor out the GCF, okay? Now, right now, in this section only, we don't know any other kinds of factoring yet. We're going to learn one more in this section, but right now we don't have anything else. And even when you did, nothing else is going to work. And you're going to come down here and say, were you able to factor out a GCF other than 1? Use factoring by grouping, and all of these are going to be a no because, well, right now we don't know them yet, but they're still a no. I need you to trust me on that. Since no, we have what we call a prime polynomial. This is prime. Just like we said that 11 is prime because only 1 and 11 divide evenly into this, the only thing that divides evenly into this, the whole thing, would be a 1 and 11w cubed minus 100 is prime. The only thing that divides into it are 1 and itself. Okay, so let's look at this last one, on this page anyway. All right, so this time I have 3 terms. I have 3 things to consider. My smallest number is a 13. 13 is also a prime number. The only things that multiply to 13 are 1 and 13. Okay, so I'm going to check 13 first. Is 26 divisible by 13? Yes, it's a 2. How about 39? It's a 3. So 13 is part of my GCF. Now what about for my variables? I do have a y in each of them. My smallest exponent is the 2. So my GCF is 13y squared. So when I go to factor this, 13y squared times. Now this is a big distribution. I need to get all 3 terms back. 13y squared times what gives me 13y to the 8th? Well, the 13 is already there. Here I have 2 y's. I need 8, so I need 6 more. So y to the 6th power. Okay, plus, we said that 13 divides into 26 2 times. We saw that check. Y squared needs to become y to the 4th, so I need 2 more y's. Okay. 13 needs to become negative 39, so it's going to be negative 3. I need a y squared already. I already have it. Now think about distribution. This times this gives me this. If I multiply those two, I do get this. And here, 13, I get the negative 30y. So that is my answer.